Hello explorers, thanks for joining us again and welcome back to another exciting and informative video on our YouTube channel. If you are joining us for the first time, we want to appreciate your time. In this episode, we shall be diving into the Herero and the Namaka genocide committed by the Republic of Germany in the continent of Africa. We will explore this like never before seen. We shall dive into specific historical information and analyze to you the reason why Germany committed incredible massacre in the country of Namibia. I will look into the background, explore the uprising itself, and analyze the genocidal activities that took place. More importantly, in this episode, I'm gonna be laying down the stages of the genocidal activities, what happens before such activities are taking place. I will also close down this episode as to the reason why the Namibian people have rejected the amount of money that the German government is putting forward with regards to the compensation. So I would encourage you to watch this video to the end for clarity and better understanding. So without any more delay, let's just dive straight into it. Between 1904 and 1908, more than 80% of the Herero population and 50% of the Nama population of Namibia were killed by German soldiers. In the 19th century, Namibia, a country in southern Africa, was populated by several ethnic groups: the San, the Damara, and the Ovombo, the Nama, and also including the Herero. The Nama and the Herero livestock farmers were the country's only two main tribes. As of the 1884, Germany invaded the Namibian territory and founded the German Southwest African colony. The colonizers' interest increased after the discovery of diamonds in 1894. If you look at different aspects, a policy of systematic land confiscation and arrival of more and more German settlers forced the farmers off their land. On January the 12th, 1904, the Herero rebelled, guided by their leader, Samuel Maherero. They attacked a German garrison at Okahanja. In June of 1904, the German general Lothar van Trora was sent to Namibia to suppress the Herero revolt. He arrived in Namibia with over 10,000 soldiers and a war plan. On August 11th, 1904, at the Battle of Wantabek, German soldiers encircled the Herero and were under the orders to take no prisoners. A few thousand Herero nevertheless succeeded in fleeing into the Kalahari Desert. German soldiers poisoned the few waterheads and waterholes and were under the order to fire on the Herero attempting to return to their land. In just a few weeks, thousands of Herero died of hunger and thirst. In their own words, and I quote in the documents provided by the Montreal Holocaust Museum in Canada, the order to kill all Herero was signed on October the 2nd, 1904 by von Trotter. It reads in quote, "The Herero are no longer German subjects. Any Herero sighted within the Namibian German border, with or without a weapon, with or without cattle, will be shot. I will no longer accept women and children, but will send them back to their people or let them be slaughtered." Herero who survived the deserts were imprisoned in the concentration camps and enslaved. The thousands of women were victims of sexual violence inflicted by the German soldiers. It takes us over 2 to 3 weeks to prepare such videos. Considering our research, we will encourage you to share the video with your different network and also give us a like so lots of people around the continent, around the world should know the German activities. Now let's dive back into the video. Talking about the stages of a genocide, in 1908, Gregory Santon, a professor of law, published a paper which explored how genocides develops and unfold. In his original work, Santon identified 8 key stages which resulted in acts of genocide. According to Professor Santon's model, some of those stages can happen at the same time or in a different order. In 2012, 1912, Santom expanded on his ideas and expanded two further stages: discrimination and also persecution. To make 10 of those particular points, according to Professor Santom, current models, therefore, the stages of genocide are as follows, based on his own analysis and research. The first thing will be the classification, dividing the people into them and us. The symbolization, which is so important, forcing groups to wear or be associated with symbols which identify them as different. If you look at the discrimination aspect, excluding groups from participating in civil society, such as or by exciting or excluding them from voting or certain places. In Nazi Germany, for example, Jews were not allowed to sit on certain park benches. Same happening in the United States during the slavery period, and this also happens in several countries across the world. In looking at Myanmar, looking in the continent of Africa, in different areas like the French genocide in Cameroon, in French-speaking Cameroon and in English-speaking Cameroon, in Senegal, in Algeria, and also the Mau Mau activities that happen in Kenya. These are some of the aspects as Professor Santom analyzes in terms of his own research. If you look at the other aspect of dehumanization, to deny the humanity of one group and associate them with animals or disease in order to battle or belittle them, is also an aspect setting the stage for a genocide. There is polarization, using propaganda to polarize society, create distance, and also exclude a group further. If you look at organization, training police or any army units and providing them with weapons and knowledge in order to persecute a group of people, like what happened in South Africa during the apartheid. The preparation stage is so essential. The planning of mass murder and also identifying specific victims. The persecution is the last stage, looking at the two other stages remaining according to Professor Santom's model. Incarcerating groups of ghostus and also the concentration camps, forcibly displacing groups and also expropriating their properties, belongings or wealth, destruction and also dehumanizing them. The extermination is another stage according to Professor Santom. Committing mass murder. And the final stage, based on his own analysis, is the aspect of denial. The denial of any crimes. This does not necessarily mean denying that the act of murder happened, but denying those acts were crimes and were in fact justified. Santom hoped that by identifying those stages, it will easily be recognized that genocide before it happened, and governments and officials will have a signal that it's about to take place in several parts across the world. Having said that, let's jump back into the video. The Herero and the Namaka genocide was the massacre of approximately 50,000 to 65,000 Herero and over 10,000 Nama between 1904 and 1907 by German military forces in Germany, Southwest Africa, the GSWA, the modern-day Namibia. If you look at the background, Germany formally colonized the GSWA in 1884. Prior to colonization, several distinct native groups, as we've pointed out, lived freely in this area, including the Herero and the Nama, and the Damara, the San, and the Ovombo. Under German rule, many of those native groups were used as slaves, labor, and also had their own land confiscated with cattle stolen. As a result of this treatment, tensions between the native population and also looking at the ruling German continues to rise with regards to these two communities. If you look at the uprising that happened in 1904, in January, the Herero population led by Chief Samuel Maherero carried out a large armed rebellion against the oppressive German colonial rule. The German ruling forces were unprepared for the attack, and approximately 123 Germans colonial settlers were also killed by the Herero. Over the following months, however, the Herero rose slowly and overwhelmed by the modern weapons carried out by the Germans, well-equipped German forces under the command of Major Theodor Ludwig. By 1904, Major Ludwig had cornered the Herero force at a Württemberg's plateau and was attempting to negotiate their surrender. The German government in Berlin was frustrated by Ludwig's slow progress in dissipating and also uprisings crushed down, and in May of 1904 appointed Lieutenant General Lothar von Trotha, Supreme Commander of the GSWA. Trotha arrived in GSWA on the 11th of June 1904. As the genocide progresses, on the 11th of August 1904, Trotha abandoned negotiations for a surrender and attempted an aggressive enrichment of tactics, surrounding the Herero at the Battle of Württemberg and killing about 3,000. Some figures estimated at that particular battle to be over 5,000 to 6,000 Herero combatants. Yet, despite the brutal tactics of the Germans, most of the Herero managed to escape into the Omaheke Desert. Under Trotha's command, the Shubzek ruthlessly persuaded thousands of Herero men, women and children who were attempting to cross the desert to reach to the British protectorate of the Batunsnestaland, the modern-day Botswana. Thousands of Herero died from being shot to death, drinking water from poisoned well, or from the first to starvation in the desert. On October the 2nd, 1904, Trotha escalated the violence against the Herero in an order with the German borders. Every male Herero, armed or unarmed, will be shot to death. It will no longer take in women or children, but will drive them back to their people or have them fired at, as we've pointed out. Those are my words to the Herero people from the great general of the mighty German Kaiser, the Katharina von Hammerstein. The Herero witnessed Germans' other genocide, contemporary French and also Francophone studies of 2016 and 2002. In November of 1904, the German government in Berlin overturned General Trotha's inhumane executions order and instead commanded that the surviving members of the Herero population be incarcerated in concentration camps such as the Sharks Island concentration camp. By this point, however, many thousands of Herero had already been murdered. The remaining Herero who were incarcerated in the concentration camps were subjected to lethal conditions with a mortality rate of 47 to 74% based on historical information, and also prisoners endured poor hygiene conditions, little food, forced labor, and also medical experiment. Looking at 1905, the Nama people in the south also rose up against the German rule and engaged the colonizers in guerrilla warfare for following 2 years. Any Nama that were caught by the Germans were executed or incarcerated in the same concentration camps as the Herero, with extreme high mortality rates. In total, by the end of the conflict on March 31st, 1907, approximately 50,000 to 65,000 Herero and over 10,000 Nama had been murdered by the German ruling forces at the time. If you are new to this channel, we will encourage you to subscribe and share our videos with your different network. These were the challenges that the people of Namibia at the time faced with regards to the brutal German troops that invaded their land and also confiscated their own properties and carried out genocide in this region. This is the reason why the people of Namibia will never forget what Germans did to them, and this has also caused a lot of friction as Germany at the moment is in the process of reparation. However, the process has been stalled as a result of unclarity and insignificant amount of money. No amount of money can buy the lives of the Nama and the Herero people. Hopefully the Namibian government and the Herero people can come out strong to proceed and also fight against the activities that happen in their land and be compensated clearly with regards to genocidal activities that happen in their particular country of Africa. We want to thank you for watching. If you are new to this channel, we encourage you to check some of our informative video on this YouTube channel. We are looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.